supplements for strength, muscle, and high intensity exercise. By far, hands down, I would start with creatine monohydrate. You guys probably know it's naturally occurring. You know, you get about a gram of creatine from meat, from your diet, if you're a meat eater, and your body makes about a gram every single day from amino acids. So it's a naturally occurring product. If you supplement with it, research has shown you can increase your muscular stores by 20 to 40%. These higher numbers were observed in vegetarians, because vegetarians, vegans tend to have the lowest muscle stores because they don't get any from their diet. It is the most well-studied ergogenic aid or dietary supplements for high intensity exercise, strength, and muscle mass, and even in clinical applications as well. So it's very safe, it's cost effective, it does not cause cramping, dehydration, or kidney issues. Those are just some old myths that have been disproven. And the way you would take it, you could take it in 2 different ways: by slow loading it, right? 3 to 5 grams a day for 28 days to slowly, gradually increase your muscular stores, and then have a maintenance dose of around 5 grams a day. Or if you want it to take effect right away, then you would fast load it. You would take 5 grams 4 times a day. So that's 20 grams a day for the first 5 days. And then you would follow up with a 5 gram per day maintenance dose. And for those of you who heard Neil talk, you know, he actually likes to calculate it by body weight, you know, because obviously someone that's my size needs a lower maintenance dose than, let's say, you know, a strong man who's, you know, 3 times my size. Okay, then we've got beta-alanine as another evidence-based supplement, and that's a non-essential amino acid. And supplementing with beta-alanine has been shown to increase muscular stores of carnosine. Now, what does carnosine do? It buffers basically lactic acid. So if you remember from your biology, when your body breaks down glucose, right, through glycolysis, the end product is lactate. So we call it lactic acid in fitness, right? It's technically lactate and hydrogen ions. And what carnosine does is it buffers those hydrogen ions so that you don't feel that burning sensation, which leads to fatigue. So if you can increase your carnosine levels, your body can buffer that acid, that burning sensation, and you can exercise longer at high intensities. So it takes a little bit of time, about 4 weeks, to really maximize your muscle carnitine levels. You'd start around 3.2 to 7 grams per day, and you want to break it up into smaller doses because some people do experience what's called paresthesia, which is the skin tingling with larger doses. And it does go away. It is perfectly harmless. So it does go away with time. Some people like it, some people don't. But it does take time to build up your stores. You can't super load it like you can with creatine. Okay, then we have caffeine, and caffeine is one of those ones, like unlike with creatine and beta-alanine, it's mostly for high intensity, explosive type or intermittent type activities, whereas caffeine can benefit all types of exercise and all types of sports, as long as you can tolerate it. Some people can't tolerate it. And there's different levels of response. So some people respond really well to it. Some people don't see a benefit from it, but it's very well researched. And like I said, it improves all types of exercise performance, whether it's powerlifting, strength training, bodybuilding, or even endurance events. And a lot of my clients, you know, my lady clients, you know, they want a pre-workout, but they don't want creatine, right? Or beta-alanine, but they want a pre-workout. So, you know, a caffeine supplement is something that's good for them to help boost their energy levels. As you can see, increase metabolism, suppress appetite. One of the cool things about caffeine is it makes exercise feel easier, right? And it makes it just, you know, feel easier, and including, you know, increasing fat utilization during exercising. And if you're going to use more fat during exercise, then you're going to spare muscle glycogen, which means for endurance performance, it can help prolong your time to exhaustion, or help you work, you know, basically do your sprints at the end of the event. It does not cause dehydration. So that's also a myth that's been disproven. As long, you got to be adequately hydrated, but it does not itself cause dehydration. It does increase the urge to urinate. So you're going to, you know, feel like you need to urinate sooner than if you were drinking, you know, just plain water without caffeine or without a coffee or caffeine supplement. But it doesn't cause dehydration. And then the way you would take it would be 30 to 60 minutes before exercise, because it takes that long to reach peak blood levels. And then because caffeine has a half-life of 4 to 6 hours, you're going to want to avoid it around, 6 to 8 hours before bedtime. Otherwise, it can cause sleep latency where you can't fall asleep, excuse me, or insomnia. So what is the effective dose? It's a range, and I would start on the lower end, but if you would calculate it by body weight, it's 1.4 to 2.7. And, in higher amounts, it is a banned substance at the Olympic level and the pro sport level. So you really don't want to have high amounts of caffeine in your system, or you can test positive. Now, there is a greater performance benefit if it's in the anhydrous state, which is what you'll see in a lot of supplements, versus coffee, because coffee, the sources of the amount of caffeine in coffee is going to vary widely. It's hard to control the exact amount of caffeine when you get it from coffee. So it can be made much more exact in a pill form or in a powder form.